For almost 10 years, I had a routine. I'd come home from work, sit at my desk, put on my headset, and queue. Sometimes I'd tell myself it was just one game. Sometimes it turned into 3, sometimes 5. Sometimes I'd go to bed frustrated because I lost MMR. Sometimes I'd convince myself that one more win would make the night worth it. And then I'd wake up the next day and do it all over again. Competitive games weren't just something I played. They became part of how I ended my day, part of how I relaxed, part of who I thought I was. So one day I asked myself a question: what would happen if I stopped? Not forever, just for 30 days, no ranked, no just one match, no late night queues because I was bored. 30 days. I honestly didn't know what I would find, so I tried. People might think I quit because I hated competitive games, but honestly, that wasn't it. I didn't hate Dota, I didn't even hate ranked. I just couldn't feel the same joy anymore. For years there were things I wanted to achieve, ranks I wanted to reach, goals I wanted to prove to myself, and eventually I got there. I reached the things I had been chasing for so long. I thought I'd finally feel satisfied. But after that, I kept queuing anyway, and somewhere along the way, I noticed something strange. I wasn't excited anymore. Winning didn't feel as satisfying. Losing felt more exhausting than ever. I wasn't looking forward to playing. I was just doing it because that's what I'd always done. The funny thing is, the first day didn't feel dramatic at all. I came home from work like usual. I sat at my desk, turned on my computer, and my body already knew what came next. Open Steam, launch Dota, queue ranked. It was muscle memory. For almost 10 years, this had been my routine. I didn't even have to think about it. I moved my mouse toward Dota without realizing it. Then I stopped. I remembered the promise I made to myself. No ranked, not today. I stared at my desktop for a moment, and honestly, I didn't know what people even do when they don't queue. Then my eyes landed on another game, Honkai Star Rail, a game I hadn't touched in a long time. Not because I stopped loving it, but because somewhere along the way, ranked games had taken over all of my free time. I logged back in, and there they were, characters I had spent time building, places I had completely forgotten about, a journey I had abandoned halfway through. I picked up where I left off, back in Amphoreus, continuing the story toward Planicardia, and something unexpected happened. I wasn't thinking about winning. I wasn't checking my rank. I wasn't calculating whether the night had been worth it. I just wanted to know what happened next. I wanted to see where the story would take me. I wanted to spend more time with these characters I had grown attached to. I realized I had missed this feeling, the feeling of playing because I was curious, because I cared, because I genuinely wanted to be there. It reminded me of being younger, back when games weren't measurements of skill, back when I played simply because I couldn't wait to continue the adventure. I hadn't stopped loving games, I had just forgotten that games could be gentle, that they could tell stories, that they could make you laugh, cry, and wonder what waits beyond the next chapter. Maybe I wasn't trying to find my love for gaming again. Maybe I was trying to remember the kind of player I used to be, the one who played not to prove something, but to experience something. And honestly, it felt really nice to meet that version of myself again. I don't know if 30 days will magically change me. Maybe after this break, I'll queue for ranked again. Maybe I'll still get frustrated. Maybe I'll still care a little too much about winning. But I think that's okay, because this break wasn't about proving that competitive games are bad. It wasn't about becoming more productive. It wasn't about quitting forever. It was about remembering that games are supposed to bring us joy, that it's okay to rest, that it's okay to step away, and that sometimes the fastest way to reconnect with something you love is to give yourself permission to miss it. For the first time in a long time, I don't feel like I have to queue. I can if I want to, or I can continue my journey somewhere else, and maybe that's what I needed all along. Not to stop being a gamer, but to remember why I became one in the first place. Thanks for watching.